Well, thanks for having me here. This is like it's an amazing venue. It's been said before. It's beautiful. The scenery is beautiful. The presentations I've seen are awesome. So I arrived yesterday evening, so I missed the first day. But well, you guys are lucky that you work in the UK or the Netherlands, because I work in Germany. And if people are talking about connecting databases from your CRM, importing them to Facebook, my privacy officer leaves the room screaming, because this is not possible in Germany. So, but what I'm going to tell you today is our growth marketing strategy. It sounds a little bit like it's one of the buzzwords, right? Growth marketing, growth hacking. But it's basically what we all talked about this morning: omnichannel, break down silos, lead scoring. I heard. I will also touch that point a little bit later on. But this is the core of the presentation. So who am I? I'm Sebastian Rasterhoff, head of growth for Rakuten Germany. I work for the company for 3.5 years and started as a what we call product feed manager, providing all the product feeds to our feed-driven channels: Google Shopping, price comparison, retargeting, affiliate channels. I was part of the CRM team, or heading the CRM team, for a while, because the guy who was here 2 years ago, Aish, he left and I took over. And currently we are building a team to bring CRM, performance marketing, data, analytics together, and this is what we're going to run through with the next agenda. Okay. Who actually knows Rakuten? Wow. Okay. That's well, probably because you're in, as you know, Rakuten. Customers don't really know what Rakuten is. I only touched Europe. We're a global company based in, headquartered in Tokyo. In Tokyo, of Japan. We're pretty big there, and we're now expanding our activities in Europe. So this is the European landscape. You see the little dot on your right side, which is Germany. We have a bank, which is our regional head office in Luxembourg. We have a banking license, so at some point we can license credit cards and etc. Rakuten Viber, hopefully some of you know what Rakuten Viber is. It's the purple version of WhatsApp. We have a blockchain lab in Dublin. We have Rakuten Kobo. Those who come from the Netherlands might know Kobo from the bol.com subscription model they have. This is owned by Rakuten. We have Rakuten Marketing sitting in London. This is we offer display advertisement, we offer affiliate marketing and attribution. We have Rakuten AD. I have no idea what it is actually. I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's a French company. No, kidding. They do something with logistics and distribution of products and that kind of stuff. We have also Aquafadas, which is it's the B2B version, to actually allows you to digitalize your content with your, it's a B2B. We have Rakuten TV, big, which previously was Waki. So some of you know this from or Spain, where we are bigger than the rest of Europe. We rebranded it last year. We have Nightmaster in France, which are still rebranded Rakuten, because they're sorry for those people. And we have the Rakuten Institute of Technology, and this is an interesting one because this is an office in Paris, which I work with pretty closely, and these guys are building for us the data infrastructure, which I'm going to present you in a moment. Okay, a little bit more background on what Rakuten actually is. So, Rakuten. We say Rakuten in Germany. It's Rakuten. So they're all, but it's, I think in the general global world, it's Rakuten. So Rakuten is all about brand and membership and data. And the story began in Japan, where they thought, okay, we need to empower our merchants, give them a platform. So they created a marketplace in Japan. This exponentially grew, and we added a lot of services around it. And this also comes down to the fact that you need to be a member of the Rakuten family. And within this membership, you earn super points, and this is our currency from Rakuten, where you actually, it's or a lot, whatever you want to call it, earn super points with every purchase you make, with every movie you watch, with every book you're buying. Super points and super points, well, in Japan, but in your ecosystem, redeemable within the. So in Japan, you go to a store and you can buy with your super points. You can buy groceries. You can go to a grocery store and you can buy, or you can like how do you call it, a golf lane. So this is all connected to membership, plus data and brand. And brand is kind of a new topic for us because we recognized, especially in Europe, that nobody really actually knows what Rakuten is about. So we are a big global company, but we did a survey 3 years ago in London and asked people on the street, do you know Rakuten? And they said, yeah, well, yeah, I think I do. Yeah, and we were like, oh, wow, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's my favorite sushi menu. Close, yes, it's Japan, Japanese, yes, but we're not a sushi menu. So this was kind of an eye-opener for us, like, okay, we need to do something with brand, and, well, oh, sorry, I think I'll go one further. We do it through sports. So currently we are sponsoring sports and Shakira. So we are currently sponsoring FC Barcelona, which is for us, especially in Europe, a huge branding opportunity to actually be on the shirt of Barcelona, whatever people are Messi magazines, you see Rakuten, so pretty cool. After the announcement that we sponsored Barcelona, I think the main keywords in Google were Rakuten, who Rakuten. So people started to interact with our brand, especially for our market. We see here in Japan, football club, Vise Kobe, which is 100% owned by Rakuten, and we signed Lukas Podolski as a player last year, so he's officially a colleague of mine, which is pretty cool. And this is really nice for the German market because he's kind of the face. We're in talks with him to be a little bit of the face of Germany, of Rakuten, because people like Podolski, because he's not from Bayern Munich, so he's from Cologne. He played abroad, and he's kind of a likable guy. We have for my US people, we have the Golden State Warriors. And you might see we only sponsor champions, right? So Barcelona, Champions League winners, La Liga winners, Golden State Warriors, the previous winners from the NBA league. I'm not a big NBA fan, but I think they rock in the US. We also sponsor, or we host an event in Japan. It's a Rakuten Tennis Cup. It's fully branded by Rakuten. We have a baseball team in Japan. We sponsor Kira. Kira is the girlfriend of PK, and PK is the best friend of our CEO. This is what we call Bleacher, how Rakuten wants to expand his brand throughout Europe globally. So we're going to Germany because we're for the German market. We have Club Rakuten is the first ecosystem membership which we're building in Europe for Rakuten, which those who know Prime or eBay Plus. It is the same. So you're opt in for a club, you pay 90 euros a year. You get access to free movies, more super points, free shipping, free return. And within all the services we have, which we showed you on the previous slides, we're able to provide you more and more services like Kobo, credit cards, hopefully, etc. Rakuten DE, we're the third marketplace in Germany. We have more than 24 million products listed on our marketplace. So imagine, so I heard about Dela, and you said you can only target people specifically on products. Well, we can't, because we have 24 million products. So we are. We have two offices, one in Berlin, one in Bamberg. People who don't know Bamberg, it's south, it's an hour from Munich. It is have 60 breweries, and Rakuten, quite important for this region. No, because we were founded, Tradoria, we acquired Tradoria 2010, and they were founded in Bamberg. So we still have an office in Bamberg. We're 150 employees, and we have 1 million members. So going back to this slide, the global membership, and this is why it's so important that I explain why membership is so important for us. We are targeting specifically members, club members, etc., because this is the of our business. So 2016, 2017 was 1.1 million in 2016, and I'm sure it grew. In a period of 360 days. So it's, we always look at a 1 year activity range. Okay. Now go to the presentation. So 1.5 years ago, I started with my team, as I said. So I've worked in performance marketing, I worked in CRM, and I've seen actually, and I think all of the presentations I've seen before are actually proven this, is that performance marketing, CRM, data, analytics, development, they're growing together. And this is what I'm building in a really small scale in Germany. It's a proof of concept, so it's growing. It's a group of 6 people who actually only work on data, analytics, feed management. We have price comparison affiliate, CRM, and display, and social paid in my team. So it's quite a big range of channels which we can actually activate. And we have a challenge. So originally, if you look at the old focus, and this is where working in silos comes again into place, is that we were pretty awesome in acquiring traffic. So Google Shopping, Blue is campaigns out. We have price comparison is really big in Germany. Retargeting, send out emails. So we were pretty good at acquiring, but we didn't actually look. So we don't have a CRM database. We have a database in Germany, where we have a double opt-in database, which is our ESP. But that's mainly it. So we thought, okay, we're seeing on data, and of course we have access to the data. So the BI team with great, beautiful homework cards for us. We have Adobe Analytics, Google Analytics. We can actually see what's happening. But my frustration was always, I cannot do anything with the data. I'm just sitting on it. I'm looking at Domo cards and graphics and beautiful presentations from web analytics, but I cannot do anything with it. So the new focus is actually that we're going to use this data, and that's why we have here in the center TM, which is our data management platform, and this becomes the core of my team. So this is where our CRM database is now building. So our tech stack. So what tools do we have within my team which we actually use to personalize, cross-channel, improve our customer journey? So we have RAT, RAT. This is the Rakuten Analytics trackers. So this is our own tracking method. Of course, we have Tag Manager implemented. We have also the Telium Tag Manager. I forgot about it. Implemented. So this is our tracking and tagging. Very basic. Then we have data processing. This is Hadoop. So for those who know, I'm not a data scientist, but I know that these guys in Paris do awesome thing in Hadoop. It's data processing, and this data processing is mainly used for our online search. So we learn about, it's fed by the RAT data. So based on your online behavior, we're actually going to provide you a better search result, or we're going to add recommendations on site, which is planned for Q1. Then we have the data visualization. Adobe Analytics, Kibana, Rakuten Attribution, and Google Analytics. Quite a few. So Kibana is basically the visualization of RAT, and this is used for our internal tracking. So we mainly use Adobe and Rakuten Attribution. This is where we now start testing with attribution modeling, that we actually look at more touch points within the customer journey. The marketing tools, people are familiar with the marketing tools, but I forgot about Telium, because Telium is for us, especially my team, it's the core of what we actually are doing. Because in Telium, we're building a dynamic segmentation. So we have a big problem in Germany. Well, I think most of the e-retailers have this issue. 88% of our customers buy once and don't come back in the next 364 days. And this is a big issue. So what we are doing, we just we acquire a lot of traffic, we acquire a lot of people who actually buy, but in the end, we don't do anything with them. 12%, that's cool, they actually are repeaters, and that's why we're building a dynamic segmentation. This is all built within Telium, and this is the base for every marketing channel decision, every for Facebook, for Google, for ESPs, for email. This is the base how we're going to target people. Later on, I have a little bit more in-depth case about how we use it for Google Shopping, but this is how our dynamic segmentation works in general. So, first case, well, you all know this, guys, is the see, think, do, care model. I think it's kind of a new version of the AIDA model. I put his name there because I think he made it up. I don't know. And this is what we're going to do. This is the first use case. The first use case, no. Sorry, that was not correct. Okay. The first use case which we're going to target. So I mentioned the 88% of our customers only buy once and don't come back again. So what the first case which we're implementing within our team is to see, okay, how can we actually influence those people and get back on our platform more and more. So what we did in the past is that so people buy once, they got retargeted by Criteo until they get annoyed by it and don't see it anymore. We display them all the Google Shopping campaigns, we display the search ads, we target them on Facebook. Everything goes exactly at the same moment. So our Facebook team is acquiring those customers, Google Shopping, the SCM team is acquiring those customers, and this is something we want to avoid. So, of course, within the single buyers, the whole care part, so we send out emails, so we split them between a double opt-in and no double opt-in. Then we send out a transactional email, we have service emails saying, hey, you have this amount of super points, congratulations, you can buy, or you can use your super points, but we cannot use any promotional content for non-double opt-in. This is not allowed if you don't have a double opt-in. But if you have a double opt-in, we can actually give you a welcome email, we can have more promotional content, join our club, get more benefits, etc. Then the next phase, which we're now going to test, is when we send out this transaction email, or this review email, or the welcome email, or the service email for your super points, they need to come back. So based on the dynamic segmentations, we're going to look, okay, which segments do you fall? Are you like a high purchaser? Did you buy multiple times before? Is it your first time you bought, etc.? And based on that, we're going to create Facebook, Criteo, AdWords campaigns and on-site notifications. And we're going to trigger those in a waterfall approach, so we don't execute them all at the same time. But within Telium, we can delay a certain action. So we say we push Facebook first to have more inspirational content. So you bought something like 18 days later, so we're going to say, okay, we calculated also your favorite category, so we're going to show you maybe some inspirational content around categories. The second part will be, okay, if you're on the search network and you're actually Googling, you're searching for a product which is similar to your profile or your segmentation, then we say to Google, okay, bid a little bit higher on these guys because now are kind of inspired by Facebook, and we can now bid a little bit higher on the Google. And for Criteo, it's basically the same. So we say to Criteo, okay, Criteo is our last resort. So if people didn't buy from Facebook or AdWords on site, or if we send out a promotional email in between, I forgot the email part there, yeah, then we give it to Criteo. Then we say, target them, fine, you have your go, do it. And this eventually needs to result in a SIP. The second one is our Google Shopping case. And it doesn't sound really cool, but for us this is a big step forward in how we use our data management platform and use our first-party data to actually enrich and target our customers on Google Shopping. We do this together with Storm Digital. I had to mention them because otherwise they go crazy. So again, back to the tech stack. So what we've built for Google. So for those who work with a data management platform and try to connect a data management platform to Google, I think it's fine to connect it directly to a display network, but Google is not so keen on pushing remarketing lists into their search network. So together with Storm and Telium, we found workarounds. This is actually, we push our segmentations, our audiences to Google Analytics, where we build the events, and of course, Google Analytics is a Google product, so we can easily inject those remarketing lists in the AdWords search network. And this is a huge step, because Google is one of our biggest channels, so we are quite big in price comparison engines, and I think equally big in Google Shopping. So what we did in the past, we say, okay, for an iPhone, we bid 50 cents on an iPhone. We don't, maybe 60, not more, because it's too expensive. But within this remarketing list, we can actually target people and say, okay, it's fine to bid like €1.50 on these guys, because they actually have a quite high buying intention. Yep. So, and I think this is, I heard a Boom marketing consultant talk about lead scoring. And this is what we're going to do as well. So within our DMP, we have so we built the dynamic segmentations, and the dynamic segmentation will be enriched with lead scoring touch points. So as mentioned before, there are touch points. Okay, how long do you see? Have you been on site? Did you actually open the product description? Did you click on enlarging the picture? Did you go back to the category, or did you go into the checkout, etc.? And these touch points can actually identify if you're an ambassador, a neutral, or a churn customer. And based on these metrics, we can actually say, okay, this is a high potential customer for us. So again, I have to put in this logo because they're helping us with it. This is our lead scoring for search ads. So what we're going to do, factors to take in account here is last order in days, like I said, number of orders, average order value, weighted interaction score. And the weighted interaction score, that's kind of a new, it's kind of an addition what we do with our dynamic segmentation, which I showed previously. We use the RFM model. For those who have seen the presentations 2 years ago from my colleague Aish, he introduced RFM. We let it go within CRM, and we're now reintroducing the RFM model for our Google Shopping campaigns. So maybe this is a better example. We talked about, so we have receive frequency monitoring. You get like the scores there, which are calculated dynamically in our management platform. And then you got the weighted interactions. I think Michael said it before, so you get points for product description, or if you're a Rakuten member, or if you are a checkout. So these weighted interaction will have a calculated score, and together with the RFM, we have an end score, and you end up in a remarketing bucket. And this is for us, this can change a lot in our campaigns, because now we are able to say, okay, we have the keyword iPhone 6. The average CPC is €2. Well, that's too expensive. But we can actually, for this specific targeted group, we can actually give them a €2 CPC. And this will change massively for us the performance in Google Shopping. And these are the KPI improvements. Okay. Well, everybody knows what CTR is, click-through rate. We have CVR, conversion rate, CPG. This is our internal cost per GMS, cost per revenue. And we have an AOV, an average order value. So we are now monitoring non-audiences against audiences. So we track within our AdWords backend, okay, what is the performance of people who we actually target through our DMP, and which are the people who are completely untargeted and just how we did it before. And I think the impact is quite massive. The CTRs are almost doubled. The CVR is almost tripled. The cost GMS is going down massively, and the average order value is also going up. So this shows us that, and I have to say, this is around 2, 3, 4% of our traffic currently from Google Shopping. So this is just a small case, and this is actually what we want to achieve within our growth marketing team, is that this shows that it's working, and this shows that we need to scale it and improve it, and set it up better, because this is, for us, Google Shopping is 40% of our traffic. So imagine if we can triple the CVR and double the AOV. Well, this can have quite an impact on our business. And that's it. Don't take a picture of the panda, he's protected. No. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sebastian. So I have a question. So with the Google Shopping that you were just talking about, are you doing anything with email to then go after this audience?
Nope. No, the thing is with, in Germany, it's, like I said, so it's for us quite hard to actually, so we are fine in pseudonymized data that we actually build. Well, if I say the word profile to my privacy officer, he again will leave the room screaming. But what we do in Telium, pseudonymized data, we build buckets of people, that's fine. But the moment we are connecting other marketing channels to our data and enrich those profiles, then it suddenly becomes profiling. And this is completely illegal in Germany. So I think this is my Dutch rebellion, is that we actually injected hashed email addresses to Facebook through our data management platform. And well, we had to stop it immediately, because this is not allowed. Because what the German authority said, and what GDPR, I think, will say in May, is that they say, well, it's fine that you send a hashed email to Facebook, but as long as Facebook actually connects that hashed email and to my personal data, yeah, then it's only profiling. So we need to find a little bit other ways to actually target those people on Facebook, because currently we're not allowed to directly inject even hashed email through our Facebook activity. So we cannot track it back completely.
Okay. Any other questions from the audience? We've got Sebastian here. Oh, here we go.
Hi, I'm Chiara from North Face. Actually, I have the same question I did previously. How many people you are in your CRM department to create all this journey?
Well, we have only...
Yeah.
A surprise, we have only one CRM manager. Working for Germany and also support other businesses in Europe. So she is quite busy. No, but we also we have a team of 3, which is a data and analytics team, and they are massively supporting CRM. So CRM for us is mainly about, what can we do to improve our customer journey, and then we have a team of data and analytics guys who actually, so they own Telium, they own the Adobe Analytics tools, they own our distribution modeling, they own our data analytics. They can help per building the range.
You mentioned that you have members, you have some globally, it's larger here, and that you also have a lot of first-time or small purchasers. So these people purchasing membership or no?
Yeah. Well, we have
why would they purchase a membership? Is there a key benefit?
Yeah, so there's no, exactly. So we have, I think, around about 40 or 45% of our buyers are actually guest buyers. So this is for us also a huge topic to actually convert guest buyers into members. But members, so currently a member, I think he gets 1% in super points on his purchase. So imagine you buy something for €100, you get like €1 in super points. That's not a benefit. The benefit comes when you become a club member, because then you suddenly get 5 times super points, and you can also redeem those super points across our services. So you can rent suddenly €3 or €4, which on the marketplace is, the discount is quite low. But if you're able to rent like a Blockbuster in a Rakuten TV entity, then it becomes like valuable. So you can rent the latest Blockbusters for €4, and that's a benefit we currently offer. And this is something, especially with Rakuten, which we're trying to push more and more to actually make more value of our membership.
Cool. Any other questions?
Thank you. Linda from WebFluence. Why did you choose to use both Adobe Analytics and GA? Is that only because of the DMP? And don't you see many data gaps between those sorts?
Well, yes, so Adobe is our global web analytics tool, so we are forced to use Adobe Analytics. Well, it has some advantages, sure. No. No, so we're using Adobe Analytics because it's, we report globally, all the figures are from Adobe. We use Google Analytics. Well, our SEO team uses Google Analytics because they cannot work with Adobe, but that's another topic. No, but Google Analytics is really, it's mainly based for the connection from DMP, Google Analytics to AdWords. That's why we have Google Analytics in place.
So you, do you see a lot of data gaps that it's hard to base your strategy on what source?
Yeah, well, we are measuring, so we have Adobe Analytics, we have Google Analytics, but Google Analytics is not really representative because it's not implemented well. So there are gaps, of course, with Google Analytics. We also have our Rakuten attribution model, and we have our internal rat trackers. And yeah, there are always data gaps. And especially when we look at Adobe versus our attribution model, the gap is getting smaller, but facing data gaps in between, that's for sure.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Hi, Sebastian. It's very interesting that you have been applying RFMI. Mm-hmm. Have you been considering other variations of the RFM, like the TC?
No.
Time and churn rate?
No. No, this is, so we started RFM a few years ago within our CRM department, but we let go of the whole RFM model within CRM because it's not working properly for us. So we reintroduced our dynamic segmentation, and now we see, okay, for especially for our Google Shopping, this is like a small case, so we're testing if this is really going to work for us. So this is the first new RFM model which we're going to test, so we definitely didn't test any other models, no.
Hi Sebastian, my name is Hessel Bosman from Vodafone Zell. My question is, the last years you hear a lot about Amazon. Mm-hmm. It's all over the news in our business every day. They're growing very fast. And what's the strategy of Rakuten to defend themselves against the aggressive Amazon move forward?
Nice, good question. Yeah, well, I think there are a few differences between Rakuten and Amazon. So, well, the first one is Amazon is way bigger than we are. The second one is that we don't do first-party sales, so we don't have our own stock. So we only provide. We only do B2B2C marketing, and we don't own our stock. So this is a big advantage to Amazon because, you know, if you read the, well, I work for Rakuten, but so Amazon, there are merchants having problems. They say, okay, you know, I boost my shop on Amazon, and suddenly Amazon sees that these products are quite in the interest of the customers, so they actually move them to their own stock. And of course, you know, that for them it's more beneficial to sell it from their own stock than sell it from a merchant. And this is what we don't do. Plus, that's why we introduced Club Rakuten. Is so those who are familiar with Amazon Prime, you know, Amazon Prime is music, video, whatever. So it's, and this is our answer, our first answer to Amazon Prime, and we are still far off what Amazon can provide. But I think within all of our within our ecosystem, all the brands, all the companies we acquired, I think we have quite a good USP compared to Amazon to compete with them. So this is our strategy.
Okay, thanks, Sebastian.
Okay.